Mega, how's the weather up there?
The weather is it's absolutely phenomenal out here. It's a balmy 38 degrees in Indiana right now, and I gotta tell you, I'm basically just sweating to death right now, you know. And by sweating to death, I mean I'm actually talking about my mad skills in Fortnite. There it is. Yeah, I brought it around to what we were talking about.
Wrapped it right back around in a newscast, you know.
That's how I do it.
New report says local man actually won a Fortnite game solo.
Yes. Thanks to TVL challenging me
That's right.
as I answered the Skype call in the middle of the match. Like, ooh.
That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to push you, to elevate your level, to get you up to the next level. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm here to do, man. I'm like your Mickey. That's me. It's in the corner. You gotta eat lightning and crap thunder.
You went for Mickey when you dodged being. You didn't go into the typecasting.
I'm not gonna be Creed. He died.
Yeah,
he died instantly.
But his son is a badass. So
he is in Black Panther.
Yes,
he is in Black, but he died. it's a family name curse, and I'm not gonna be a statistic. I refuse. I'll be the old white guy in the corner like, come on, Rocky. You gotta do it. You gotta do it, kid.
You're not going to fall for that typecasting nonsense.
That's right.
I'm down.
Not going to catch me on that. Miss me with that, Hollywood. Miss me with. I already sound like a white guy. Miss me with that.
I don't know why anybody says you sound like a white guy.
I don't get that either.
If white dudes could have voices like your voice, it wouldn't even be fair, honestly. Like,
I mean, I'm going to go tell Teft you said that. He's probably going to be really, really happy. Which, by the way, there's Teft.
There's Teft.
There he is. Super happy to get compliments from the sexiest man alive, Mega Magwitch. Look at that.
Look at that face.
Look at that face. Look at that.
I'm here again. I haven't been on this podcast in like a month, I feel like.
What podcast?
Right? What podcast?
What
I think
show?
actually the last time I was on this podcast was Fallout's last podcast.
When he dipped out and he was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm off to chase my dreams and be a Fortnite streamer.
Yep. That's him now.
That's him.
All he is.
Fortnite streamer, part-time Monster Hunter. I can't blame him.
Yep.
No.
Good games,
He did Destiny. He did Trials carries today.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to catch any streams today. I've just been sitting here waiting to talk to you, Mega. Waiting to push you for that victory there.
And you're just like, all right, when does this podcast start? I'll just keep sitting and staring at the wall.
Watching paint dry. Actually, the paint's watching my beard grow as it waits to hear from you. That's it. That's welcome to the Planet Destiny podcast. Hi.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Episode 154, I think. Probably.
Yep.
Don't fact check me.
It's fine.
We're back. We're here. And we're going to talk about some Destiny stuff and probably some Fortnite stuff and probably some Monster Hunter stuff. Because why not? It's fun. Those games are great. And Mega legitimately was just like multitasking and soloing a group of sweaty room hogs who were trying to take him down. But you can't stop Daddy Magwitch. You can't stop him.
I didn't know thing for the best Fortnite player in the world.
I didn't want to say that I was the best player in the world.
It's insinuated. Come on.
Yeah, it just, at least on console. Well, let's just, at least.
Pretty heavily.
You put a controller in my hand, nobody's putting me down, all right?
Only man I know who mastered and hated the N64 controller.
The N64 controller. What a thing.
What it is.
I love the N64, but it's just the worst at the same time. That's just all there is to it to me. Like, I don't know how else to describe it.
I jumped from Super Nintendo to PS1.
See, I did too.
I missed that.
But my stepbrother had the N64, so we had the best of both worlds going on. It was a scheme, like, I'll ask for the N64, I'll ask for the PlayStation, and then we got everything.
Is that how that worked?
Right? Oh, yeah.
Me and my brothers, our mistake was asking for the N64, because that's all we got.
Yeah.
You gotta hold it now.
Yeah, it worked. I played Super Mario 64 until Super Mario 64 refused to be played by me anymore. So,
Dang.
did what I
broke up with you.
It did. It cut me off,
Mario
man.
64 broke up with TBL. That's
like,
what happened.
You start that game and Peach sends you the letter saying, "Hey, I baked you a cake." She sent me a letter saying, "Stop calling. I'm not going to pick up. I'm never going to pick back up." That was my first real heartbreak. She didn't want it anymore, and just
that is rough.
It's rough, man. It's tough out there for a player.
She wanted a different Toad head.
Player one. Oh, Oh,
Mega, that's lewd.
different colored mushroom head there. Again, welcome to the Planet Destiny podcast, episode 154, Late Night. This is what happens when you put me, Mega, and Nim together on a show, and we don't have the moderating force of Moonvault here to get us back on target.
Stop us.
There's nothing that
We
will
go to
keep
Toadheads.
this going. Yeah.
Anyways, we're back. We're three people. We got our usuals. We got Mr. Nim Plays. What's up, brother?
How's it going, fam?
Looking good. Your hair's looking great, man. You got it like coiffed off to the side and kind of like the Superman thing. You just need to move it a little bit more towards the mid and
Right,
then...
we just center it a little bit more. And just, yeah.
Beautiful. I like it.
Happen.
I'm waiting for it. We've got Daddy Magwitch, the Fortnite god.
One of those is true.
Both of those.
I said two things.
So short.
But there was some chance. And of course, I am the Black Link, and we are here to talk to you about the goings-on in the world of Destiny. Are there any?
Nope. Pack it up.
That's it. That's
wait,
the end of the
Going
show.
on we had was about like in September, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. We're here to talk. That's when it'll be. That's when it'll be worth it to come in and talk about Destiny. About 6 months from now.
Hey, it's gonna be worth it in March. All right, it's
think
gonna
so?
be worth it. I think so.
I love this trend that we have with the podcast now. Is just immediately start off with just the roast.
Yeah. Look.
What else can we do? I can't stop it. Can't stop me.
It's hard not to, well, it's like a self roast. I
Kind
feel
of,
like it's just like you got to laugh at ourselves for when there's nothing really new
to do
out there
to
yet
talk
to
about.
discuss. You know, we're waiting, still in the waiting ether for big
There's
things.
a few things to talk
There's a few
about. Not a
things,
whole lot
yeah.
of things to do.
Well, I mean, why don't we start with our escapades in Destiny? Either you guys been playing the game this week?
Not gonna lie to you, man, I have not.
Really?
No, I've not touched it. I think I touched it once this week on reset to get some dead orbit shaders that I was missing, and I got the full auto, which is nice. It's really neat on PvE. But then the Monster Hunter itch hit, and I've not stopped playing that.
You can't
And
get away from it, man.
I want to go in because my Titan still needs the new Monarchy set. And I want it really bad, and I only have a couple days to try and actually get it now. But Monster Hunter.
I mean, you hit high rank. You've taken down that Xenojiva. Now it's all about the tempered hunts. It's kind of hard to pull away from that, man. I was playing it earlier today. And, I mean, I wouldn't blame you for it. But we did have faction rallies, as Nim was alluding to there, going on this week. I actually played a little bit. I played a fair amount of Destiny 2 this week. Yeah.
I got clickbaited into watching TVL play it. I saw him tweet, "You'll never believe what I'm playing today," and I was like, "Well, I want to know what he's playing today."
What is
I
it?
clicked on it.
What did you think? Did you think I whipped out the N64,
No,
hooked it up
well,
to a
here's the
CRT,
thing.
and was playing GoldenEye?
I wanted to confirm that you saying that could only be for Destiny 2. I was like, I wanted to confirm that was shade at Destiny 2. And so I was like, all right, let me just make sure. And it was.
You're right.
It was indeed.
It was absolutely Destiny 2. Not too bad of a time. I mean, I mostly just went on and ran public events throughout the week.
That's what you, as you do in Destiny
as you do
2.
in Destiny 2. But yeah,
The
I
only
wanted
way
to
progress.
I needed to complete my my hunter or my Titan set. I've gotten the faction gear for New Monarchy and Future War Cult on Titan, but I hadn't touched Dead Orbit because why would you touch Dead Orbit? So went on there, got all the gear for that. I'm still hunting down that Dire Promise, which is the Dead Orbit hand cannon.
Really?
And I am absolutely 115% sure it's not dropping. You can't get it.
I got it.
From a faction engram.
Yeah.
I don't believe you. I think you're lying to me. I think you're lying.
I don't believe you, Nem.
Where's my pen?
I think this man's trying to play me right now because I have opened no less than 70 packages on Dead Orbit. I put in actual time on D2.
Damn.
I've put in work.
there it is.
I put in work. I don't believe it. I think he's lying. I think he's
That's one of
fronting.
my favorite guns. I've got that
Me
gun.
too. Like Dire Promise, of course, is I think it's a 150 RPM hand cannon. It's the same model as the old fashioned, but it's got triple tap. It is absolutely one of my favorite guns in D2. I've got plenty of copies of it on console, but I haven't been able to get it in the previous faction rally on PC. So I've just been going only Dead Orbit trying to get it. I swear I've gone through like 70 to 80 faction engrams. I keep getting like sidearms and the what is it? The Hollow Earth.
Oh, okay. Which that's the auto rifle, right?
Yeah, it's the auto rifle,
Yeah,
which to be fair is good. The auto rifle's good.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't done the prophecy like verse boxes, and you guys don't have the Null Calamity 9, the Hollow Earth is a pretty good replacement for that.
Yeah.
And because the archetype is different on that, the Zen moment feels like it activates so much faster.
Yeah.
Than on the Null Calamity, and you can actually feel that on the in Crucible. Like as soon as you get a couple shots into an enemy, that thing just becomes a laser beam. It's fantastic.
I was going to say that. It's one of the Viced auto rifles, so it's fast rate of fire. It might be like one of the 720 RPMs.
Yeah.
And yeah, that thing is an absolute laser beam. Once you've landed like 4 or 5 shots, which is really quick given the rate of fire, that thing does not move at all. As a habit, being a Destiny content creator, whenever I get something new, I immediately take it out into PvP and try to canvas it. Like, okay, what situations is this good in? Is this something that's worth using? What are the stats on it? How does it work? And I was pleasantly surprised. I thought Hollow Earth, it's a pretty good energy auto rifle. It's a pretty solid choice for PvP, which, nice. It's not a dire promise that I asked for. I've gotten like 20 or 30 of these things. I don't need them, but at least it's good.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Not bad at all. Gotten anything else decent from Faction Rally?
I'm gonna be with Nem and say I haven't played Destiny since Crimson Doubles went away.
We didn't get a chance to talk to you about that.
Faction Rally has always been my least favorite thing, like event-wise in D2. I don't care about it. It doesn't do what I wanted Faction Rallies to do. I don't feel like I'm really competing against other factions in a meaningful way.
Definitely
so I don't care about it. It can go away. It doesn't matter to me. It's nothing. It doesn't entice me in the slightest.
That is something that's a little curious. When they described Faction Rallies, I think we even talked about this on the show before D2 came out. We all figured, oh, is it finally happening? Are we finally going to get a PvP mode where it's like Faction Wars and maybe it's a larger game mode where it's 3v3v3 or something like that?
I would have loved, like in Halo Reach where you had the PvP mode where there was like a mission element to it and there were like enemies like on the map. I would have loved something like that with Faction Rally, where you're competing for an objective with even enemy like AI or computer enemies like on the map and stuff too. Like you're racing through something or you're anything. I would have loved it.
Yeah.
But instead it's just keep doing what you're doing and get some cones.
Capture the flag where it match makes you with other people of your faction against an opposite faction. And just go at it.
That's not even really something that's new to MMOs. Basically, every MMO that has PvP in it incorporates some kind of mode like that. Like I can think of it in Final Fantasy XIV right now, which is probably one of my favorite MMOs out there. There are 3 different factions, and they're massive. They're like 24-man teams, but this could be something like 3 to 4-man teams where it's just Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, Future War Cult. There's a spot in the middle. You need to grab the flag, take it back to your thing while you're fighting off 2 other teams who are all trying to get that flag. It just seems like a slam dunk, and it's not even something new to Bungie games. Like Mega said, it's been in Halo. They had big team battle and whatnot in Halo. That's just kind of a weird moment to me because that's something the community has been asking for quite a while. And when they announced Faction Rally being kind of this competition between the factions, I really kind of expected that to happen in PvP and kind of just never panned out.
It's supposed to be like the PvE Iron Banner, but it's just weak. Maybe if there was like a special thing in PvE that gave you like bonuses for it, or that was in like something about that PvE activity had something extra in it.
Yeah.
While doing it more than just like shooting some containers during lost sectors or whatever the hell's going on.
Which don't even do anything anymore, by the way. Remember, destroying those used to give you a faction token. And they don't do that anymore. They don't do anything. Yeah. They're just there. I guess they can function as an extra explosive that doesn't deal enough damage to kill a red bar vandal.
I mean, I don't know if you guys, for those of you who don't know, there's, of course, a new exploit on Titan. If you want
I did
to
not know,
farm,
so teach me.
yeah. So if you want to farm the faction tokens, the new exploit for this rally is you go to Titan and you go to the lost sector that is in the brig. It's as soon as you spawn in, it's the first lost sector that's like right under that area. You go all the way through. You kill the ogre. You open the chest and basically you can either kill yourself with those explosive things that used to give you the faction rewards, or just use any other like container that's in the area to kill you, and it'll respawn you at the top of like at the entrance of the lost sector, and it resets the ogre and it resets the chest. So
Yeah.
you can just do that over and over, and you can easily get like about maybe like 100 tokens per hour.
All the tokens you need.
Well,
It's not quite as efficient as the old 500 to 600 token farm for some of those lost sectors and previous faction rallies, but it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick and easy. And if you want to turn your mind off for a bit and just farm that, you can get a bunch of tokens from it.
I'm now significantly less impressed by TBL 70 packages that he got this faction rally.
You can only run public events for so long.
Really out here grinding. I see what happened.
I had to make a guide video for it.
Like, I understand. I understand.
Yeah. Also, by the way,
content.
technically not an exploit. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You have to kill the boss in the lost sector in order to open the chest and reset everything. So technically, you're not even breaking the rules.
You're just finding a loophole for the respawn system. That's all you're doing.
You're cutting short the time where you have to turn around and run out of the lost sector. That's
I am always in favor of grinding stuff out. For me, even if I love playing the game, I'm still gonna grind out through the path of least resistance for anything. Yep. Because then I don't have to worry about not getting it done, you know? It's like, even if I wanted to play 40 hours of Destiny this week, you know, like that's all I want to do. I just want to play Destiny 40 hours. Yeah. But maybe I have other things in my life that make it so I won't be able to. So just to be safe, I'm going to grind it all up. Now, this isn't a hypothetical world. This is Destiny 1 world where like all I want to do is play
where you
want
to play.
Yeah. So I'm still going to grind out with any exploits I can find to get my homework done, make sure it's done, and then I'll just keep playing, but I won't have that worry that I'm not going to get things done, you know? Yeah. Like, I'm always going to grind out and the exploit if I can in any
Yeah, you want the most bang for your buck.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, that's nothing new to gaming as a whole. Gamers will always find the fastest, most efficient way to get something done and then make that the norm. That's basically what a meta is. And, well, I think it's funny that we're back to farming lost sectors. I very much prefer this to the lockout system that they had in the previous lost sector, or the previous faction rally. Ugh, that was
rough.
Little bit too rough. But Mega, see, we didn't get a chance to talk to you about Crimson Doubles last week.
Yes, I really like Crimson Doubles on the whole. If you have another person to play with, if you're playing with randoms, that's what I did. I was playing with randoms for the most part, and streaming, so I was like really not focused. I didn't even like realize at first that there was. I'm a bad person not paying attention, so I didn't even realize that there was a boon for like being near your teammate until like the second match I was playing.
You were that blueberry.
Yeah, it only took me one match. All right, one match, and then I was like, oh, my stuff's recharging really quickly. Oh, there's a thing on screen. Obviously, this is the mechanic of the game. But that's just proof. The fact that I didn't realize is just proof that the average player out there has no idea what the hell's going on with this game. Like,
absolutely.
At all.
The games I played, I basically rando matched with all of them. And yeah, the number of people who just kind of ran off on their own and didn't stick with me at all was just like, all right, this is kindergarten. I'm basically going to be corralling kids back together.
It's almost
finding the blueberry. Just hold my hand. It's going to be okay.
I found it kind of ironic that the more enjoyable PvP game mode that was out, you know, like in Destiny 2, was literally built around hand-holding the thing that people like complain about, but it was like more fun still, just because it made you feel more powerful. Like that's really all people want is
The
more
abilities.
power.
Yeah.
They want their abilities. Yeah,
it's
like
the
it's
abilities.
just proof that the hand holding isn't the problem. It's really nothing other than people just want to feel
feel strong.
powerful
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
That's actually a pretty decent segue. We're getting an update this week.
Oh,
We is.
look at that.
We're getting a This Week at Bungie kind of update with that old Nightfall changing around, aren't we? I think it's update 1.1.3, the one that changes up the Nightfall so that strike scoring and Nightfall scoring and all that kind of stuff are coming back. We actually got to hear from Bungie a couple of times this week. That's a great segue. They kind of surprised us. They updated their development roadmap, that image they released a month or so ago. They released a new one showing a couple of changes. Mostly a few things have been pushed back. Alongside the Nightfall scoring update that we're getting this Tuesday, February 27th, we were originally going to be getting Nightfall-specific loot. That's something that was very exciting. We are going to be getting some very specific, boss-specific, I think, Nightfall loot in that. That's been pushed off, I think, to next month. I think I got pushed off to March 27th, which sucks, but they at least gave us a reason for it. And that reason is that they want to take a little bit of extra time to ensure that it's worth your while, I guess would be the fair way to put that.
Yeah, they said that they wanted it to make sure that it looks really cool. So they're giving their artists more time to work on the weapons, which is great.
Yeah,
this is fantastic because it's all like if it really lives up to them being unique rewards. Because again, we had strike specific rewards in D1. Mm-hmm. Some of those weapons were reskins. So you had the Grasp of Malak, which was a white tinted version of the Oversoul Edict. And you had the Devil's Dawn, which was a kind of like, it was a fallen Siva themed after the sniper rifle that came out in House of Wolves.
Shadow of Aim Assist.
Yeah, the Shadow Veil, was it?
Shadow of Veils. We called it the Shadow of Aim Assist.
That's the one. So that was a reskin of that. So I'm glad that they're taking the time to make sure that these weapons live up to their unique
Do you think people might have been upset if the guns came out and they were reskins?
Oh my God.
I think they would have been content for the most part.
Yeah, we would have been perfectly fine with that. Yeah, absolutely. Thumbs up. Yeah, so I'm glad I'm not the only one who immediately thought that when they read it, that, we're going to give our artists a little bit of time to make these things really feel unique. Thank you. If Nightfall specific rewards would have come out and they would have been like blatant reskins of like Haka weapons and Suros weapons.
It's just a better Devils with a slightly different pattern on it.
Get me out of here. Give me that butterfly cane and just get me out of here. Yeah, so oh my God, could you imagine the salt storm that would have grown out of that?
Yeah, it would have been harsh, and that's the last thing that they need.
Which is so props to hopefully not doing that.
It's a good thing. It's a really good thing. That just gives me more time to play other stuff.
That's right. And not only that, mods got pushed back. I do believe that's no longer slated it's no longer scheduled for a release in season 3 with update 1.2.0. They kind of pushed that back. They said they're going to be continuing working on that.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a bit disappointing when you learn that these things aren't going to be coming as quickly as you like. I would much rather, and you can start off the shield brigade in comments right now. I'll take it. I would much rather them push things off and do it right than push out reskins and recolors and a barely revamped mod system. Like the mod system needs a massive overhaul, and the more time they take to make it better.
Because I've already played the rushed version of the mod system. All right, I don't need more rushed.
Not
mod
great
system.
Not great at all, and I'm okay with them pushing back some of those things to work on it. And at the very least, hopefully, it's the Nightfall rewards. Those are pushed back a month. So those will hopefully be coming out alongside the Sandbox update, and that's good for me. I'm fine with that. But before we move on with some of the other things that are in the TWAB, specifically the update that's coming this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about something. I played a lot of Destiny this week, and when I say that, I mean I played a lot of Destiny 1 this week.
Ooh.
I went back in the past couple of days, and I have been playing some Destiny 1, and holy crap was that the greatest gaming decision I've made since pre-ordering Monster Hunter World.
Some big words there.
Yeah. I went back, and in particular, I streamed it for the past couple of days. I went back because Mayhem Clash is available right now, and I really just wanted to say, I just want to take a minute or two to say, if you are somebody, I know we've said it before, but if you're somebody who's disillusioned with Destiny 2 but still feel like you want to play it, go back and play Destiny 1. It is such an invigorating experience to go into Crucible and see how fast-paced and crazy it is in there right now, especially while Mayhem's going on. I was legitimately taken aback by how chaotic Crucible was, with how quickly Titans were zip-zopping all over the place and how hunters could move, and how quickly I could drop people with something like Hawkmoon or Ias Luna or my perfectly rolled PDX 45. And I had a live stream with it, and chat really enjoyed it, going back and kind of seeing a lot of the things that maybe we took a little bit for granted in Destiny 1 and are sorely missing in Destiny 2 right now. It's almost like playing a completely different franchise with how quick and how fun the game moves. Mm-hmm. And it just makes, man, I wish we could go back to that. I wish they would just take D1, like, hand it over to High Moon or Vicarious Visions or whoever made the PC port for D2 and then just have them make a D1 Legacy Edition for PC. I would be on that all day. I'd be making content for that all the time. And good God, D1, have either of you, I know Nim, you go back and play D1 fairly often. Have you gone back and played it, Mega?
I have since D2 came out. I have played D1, and it is quite the different experience from D2. I don't think any of us could have really, when people were all like Destiny 1.5 when D2 was coming out, I really wish they would have been right. Yeah. I never have wanted trolls to be more right in my life.
Yeah.
I wish it were D1.5. I absolutely wish.
Yeah, it's fun though. Like it's a really interesting retrospect to go back and play that and see how much of that, like you said, we took for granted, because it's crazy going from when, and that's the last couple months that we were in Destiny 1. It's like, oh, when is Destiny 2 coming out? I'm so tired of this. Yeah. To now being in this point that we are in D2, it's like, all right, let's go back to D1 and play it. So it's like it's tough, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy, but it's a good way to go back and look and say, okay, these are the things that D2 is missing right now, and kind of gives you a way to laser focus on some of the things that need to come back, because there's a lot from D1 that's curiously absent in D2. And thankfully, all signs from Bungie for the past month or two have shown that they want to go back to kind of the level of content and the style of content that they had in Destiny 1. And some of the upcoming changes are just a hint of that. Stuff like Nightfall strike scoring and, strike-specific loot. That kind of stuff is definitely a callback to some of the things we had in Destiny 1 that I certainly enjoyed in this past week of going back and playing it. And I'm still hopeful. I'm still very hopeful that some of the changes coming to D2 are definitely going to make it a more fun experience. And it's crazy going back and looking and saying, man, we were angry about this. I had one match where this Titan was doing nothing but skating around. It was Mayhem, so instant grenades. He was just skating around, sticky-nating. The dude couldn't land a primary, secondary, or heavy shot for his life, but he could hit you with that sticky nade around a corner. It might have been a Smurf account, because Mega's his elo score is too high to match with me. I'm too low for him.
Absolutely. That's not true. You and I matched in D1 one fateful night. We were just randomly both playing. I don't even remember what was going on, but we were both just in I was gonna say quick play. That's how long it's been since I played. Since Destiny 1 memories. We were just in Clash, I'm gonna assume, or something like that. And I just remember seeing on the enemy team, what the hell is that, the Black Link? And forcing you to get into a party on PlayStation, which I think you've never done in your life except for then. And it was a beautiful moment. It was just happening upon a friend when you were both in different states than where you live. Just randomly, holy crap, TBO, what are you doing here?
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time, and it was the only time I didn't hate being on PlayStation Party Chat, buddy. Just with you. But yeah, as we move forward towards going back to Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, that actually ties rather well into the TWAB that we got this week. The This Week at Bungie for the week of February 25th. They're talking a little bit about that upcoming patch 1.1.3. Why don't we take a look at some of the things they had to say? By the way, I love Cosmo or Deej, or who was it? Was it Damage who did this? Yeah, Damage who wrote this one. Mm-hmm. He titled this section, Course Correction. You're a bigger man than me, my friend. But we learned a bit about some of the things that are going to be coming in 1.1.3. Next week, Destiny Update 1.1.3 will introduce Nightfall Strike Scoring, the first version of the Prestige Nightfall Challenge card, and emblem variants. 2 weeks ago, we went through how Nightfall emblems are changing. Joining us again to go a bit deeper, here's Senior Design Lead Tyson Green to talk about the upcoming Emblem and Aura changes. And they go into talking about some of the stuff you'll be able to earn with Nightfalls, the way that strike scoring is going to work, how you can earn some of these special emblems, and in kind of a surprise move for me, emblem variants. I don't think we've ever had something like that in Destiny before. It's weird.
No, it's interesting. I mean, I really didn't expect an emblem rework. I mean, it's cool if they're tying like a lot of these stats to them. But yeah, it was kind of unexpected. As well as we'll get into it further with the auras, but yeah.
Yeah, because they're tying a lot of things into the emblem system now. But they say, we're exposing more stats on emblems and making those emblems more available to players who want to display those stats. For example, the Crucible emblems that advertise wins or kill-death assist ratio can now be obtained directly from Shaxx after 10 Crucible rep packages, if you haven't gotten one as a drop earlier. We're also deploying a new emblem that advertises your Crucible kills, which are broken down by class so you can see who finds themselves in your crosshairs most often. Then they give us an example of it with the Victorious Veteran emblem, and it kind of shows your lifetime Crucible kills and then like your kills on Hunters, Titans, and Warlocks, which is neat, giving you a little bit more insight into some of your stats on PvP so people can kind of look and see who you murk the most in the Crucible. I like that kind of stuff. This is the kind of thing that's it's kind of put in a game to kind of elongate the grind. It's something silly for you to go towards, and that's the kind of thing I love in a game like this. Destiny is a game all about the kinds of things you earn and chase after, and being able to see my padded stats. I'll take more of that. I'll take more of that. I give hands to Hunters. That's all I do. Mega.
There's such an easy way to make that lewd. I'm not even gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna sidestep it.
Just avoid that toad head, huh?
Yes.
Anyways, they continue by saying, second, we're collapsing auras into emblems and removing them as standalone items. This means that existing raid, trials, and new Nightfall emblems will provide the existing aura effects to players, and future emblems can also roll out new effects. These emblems are conditional. For example, you still have to go flawless or do a prestige clear to activate them. Some of these auras will also come with fireteam bonuses, so when they see that aura over you, players will know who's giving them a special benefit. This is something I wasn't really expecting, but the more I think about it, the more I think it's probably a better idea than the aura system we have in the game right now, where it's kind of just a slot on your character for no real reason that doesn't really do anything.
It's my favorite thing.
It's your favorite thing to look at?
Yeah.
I think I've only had the aura on me like once ever since Destiny came out.
Pleb, scrub, you suck, you're bad.
Same with me, man.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's a little crown. I don't really care for it. Like,
it's not a very cool aura. It's just like
not a very cool aura.
It looks lamer than like an ornament on a like a Vogue ornament that has like a blue glow, just like a crappy version of that, basically.
Dude,
yeah.
the helmet ornament from Wrath of the Machine, turning your head into a Siva factory.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
That's an aura.
Yeah,
and I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks the auras in D2 are a little lackluster. I prefer the flaming head for the Nightfall clear back in Destiny 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I like being able to turn things off though, just because the flaming heads were always a pain in the butt when we were making videos. Like I couldn't do the Nightfall on any character we were filming with because I can't just suddenly have my head on fire. Also, that reminds me, I did lie when I said I didn't play Destiny this week because I did sign on with the Husky Raid boys. Just kind of looking at some things, getting the old crew back together for possibly fun times.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. So against actually playing the game that we needed to get into a raid spot. I got one of my subscribers to give me a raid checkpoint instead of having to play it.
Instead of playing through it?
Yeah, it's fine though. It's fine.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah.
Whatever works. So yeah, so they're tying in auras to these prestige emblems that you'll be able to earn through activities. If you go flawless in trials, you'll get that emblem, you'll get that aura that's tied to it. And if you complete the prestige Nightfall, you get that special emblem. I like that they're having specific emblems tied to specific strikes now. And the way that you'll earn them is, of course, beating some kind of global high score that they said. If you become the King of Kong and get a high score, then yeah, you get this awesome emblem that has an aura tied to it that also gives you a tangible benefit whenever you run that strike. So say you're somebody who gets to like world's first running the Pyramidion or something like that. You get the aura, you get the Nightfall emblem and whatnot. You get more tokens when you run Pyramidion from now on. That's cool. That's neat.
I'm down.
I like it.
Now,
I like it.
Question for you. Is that enough for you to go and run a Nightfall on every reset?
Without other changes? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I need for me to run a Nightfall on every single reset, I need changes to game feel more than I need changes to my rewards too. Like at this point, like TBL would go back and do a Destiny 1 Nightfall, I think, before he would do Destiny 2 Nightfalls.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's nothing TBL needs in Destiny 1. So there's no reward part of it. It's just that it's more fun to do.
Yeah. I was really looking forward towards this update because we had a chance of getting those Nightfall unique rewards. But honestly, like personally, I really don't care too much for the auras. I mean,
yeah,
they give you increased tokens. Like, I mean,
if you're playing strikes, wonderful. Yeah,
yeah. And I don't know. Like I said before, I was really looking forward towards this update with the Nightfall Strike unique rewards, but that's been pushed up until March 27th.
Yeah,
a month away. And I don't think that's it's a neat little addition that will overall enhance the gameplay once the game feels full again.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's those extra things that you also grind for. It's like back in D1, grinding out faction level up so you can get a Sparrow or a Ghost or your exotic class item for those. Which, by the way, bring those back. Why are they gone? That's what this whole emblem thing feels like to me. It's cool. It's something to grind for. I'm somebody who absolutely loves getting high scores in games and whatnot. So I'm gonna, I loved when they added the strike scoring system and that's in Nightfalls and Destiny 1 because I tried to get high scores all the time. Same thing in Prison of Elders. That was one of the reasons why I love Prison of Elders. I try to beat my high score. And
that guy with the Miss Pac-Man high score at your local arcade.
That's me.
All right.
Only Miss Pac-Man. It's superior to the original.
It is. Well, it is.
It is
superior in every way. Yeah.
But see, I'm that guy, so I love this kind of stuff. But ultimately, I don't really feel like I have a reason to play the game right now. And this is icing on a cake. The cake is still gone. The cake is still empty and hollow right now.
The cake is not coming for another couple months.
Yeah, so they're like handing you the frosting and saying, "Here you go." It's like I'll wait for the finished cake to be delivered in 6 or 7 months. This isn't even frosting.
This is fondant. All right, that's that's where we're at. And if you like fondant out there, you're fucked up.
Stop.
All right,
stop.
Here in the live chat, Attack Eyebrows also makes an excellent point that the Nightfall modifiers aren't even fun right now.
Yeah.
And that's a good point. Prism just feels very lackluster compared to at least the original Burns. I mean, I get that with Prism, you get the bonus of the output, but none of the incoming damage. But at the same time, that's also what made running Omnigul with Arc Burn challenging.
It
was crazy.
Don't just throw that out there. Like
Arc Burn and Light Switch, year one.
Switch, yeah.
I'm
Those
just saying
falls
that
coming
is
up like
the only night fail that was ever an actual fail, and we didn't upload the video. Was me, Story, and Shake trying to do Omnigul Arc Burn and
Got
just
those hands.
giving up after like an hour and a half of failing. We're just like, nope. All right, we're done. You're not uploading a video this week, Story. Sorry. Ugh.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the issues with D2 right now. The modifiers for I almost said the modifiers for strikes, but that's not a thing. The modifiers.
What are those?
Modifiers? What are those? Ugh. But yeah, the modifiers for Nightfalls are definitely really lackluster when you compare them to like combinations that you can get in D1, like Brawler, Solar Burn, Small Arms, where it's so much fun.
Few.
Yeah, there's
Very
like 4, and some of them seem to be almost strike specific. Like they'll only show up on certain strikes, and that's so weird. It's so strange to go from kind of. I feel like we say this every single week. It's so strange to go from this established system in D1 to like what we got in D2. And thankfully, they are changing and bringing some new modifiers to Nightfalls. That's going to be part of the whole prestige challenge thing where you can activate certain modifiers. They're bringing back something that's kind of Burn-esque. I think they're calling it Singe, where you deal like 20 or 30% more damage with an element, and you also take more.
They can't just like use the same thing. They just have to change it to make it sound a little sequely. Like
we can't call it Burn. Call it Singe.
They don't need to do that. Give me Arc Burn.
Just say Burn.
Up good old-fashioned Arc Burn.
It's exactly the same thing as like when they reuse maps in Halo, and it's like, it's not blood gulch, it's coagulation.
Coagulation. Like, we can't have Firefly, it's Dragonfly.
Yes.
And it's worse.
It's new.
Yeah.
It's new, but it sucks.
I don't understand that either. I don't know why they can't just say, okay, Arc Burn, Solar Burn, Void Burn, it's coming back. We gotta call it Singe for some reason.
But is that not tied to one of the Nightfall challenge?
One of the cards, one of the Nightfall challenge cards that you can activate is it has that as a modifier, which I kind of like that. I kind of like that we can pick and choose certain modifiers to have active, but just bring them back. Yeah, just don't try to fix what ain't broken. And the Nightfall system towards the end of Age of Triumph wasn't broken. It was great, and God, I'm glad. At the very least, I'm glad some of it is coming back. I'm going to be streaming the Nightfall on Tuesday when the update comes out. Whenever Destiny 2 comes back up, so we'll get a chance to see what it is there. And I'm so glad. If you guys are just listening to the podcast, we do stream these live, and we get to interact with chat here. I'm glad chat agrees with me. It's so weird to bring some of these things back and then like name it something different. Although I will take Burnout for Burning Shrine. That's a cool name. It fits with the lore. You're in the dark future. The sun's burnt out. That's why.
Burnout.
It's not a burning shrine
Burnout,
anymore.
just like the player base.
Damn! Oof. Oof, I need me some aloe vera like right now.
Guardian down. Stand by for res. Hold on. I feel like we have to give a dead Guardian at least 8 seconds of silence to hold square and bring that guy back, so...
There we go.
Damn, Mega. Go off becoming a Fortnite champion and just bringing all that salt right back with you. Jeez.
I couldn't. I'm just salty because in the matches I got to play, I never even got Burnout. So in duos, and I haven't even had it yet. Yeah,
it's so good.
Man,
it's
so good.
I know.
It's my favorite D2 map now.
Favorite D2 map is
my favorite D2 PvP map is a D1 PvP map. It's so good.
I'm sure it is. I want to play it, but I have not gotten it, and I was not willing to do trials. So
yeah. Ouch. I don't even know if I want to continue reading the TWAB now.
No, keep going.
I'm super sad.
We're moving on. We're moving on.
Moving on. Okay.
Keeping it light. Keeping it snappy.
Here's what they had to say. Lastly, we're introducing variants to some emblems. If an emblem indicates high achievement and lots of players use it, we didn't want that to mean that everyone necessarily looks the same. But we still want achievement emblems, too many E words, to be recognizable as such. Variants are being introduced to allow visible achievements without losing the recognizable identity of the emblem. Some variants are unlocked via conditions. The new Crucible Kills emblem unlocks some fun class foe variations after you down 1,000 guardians of that class. So you kill 1,000 hunters, boom, that variant's unlocked. You kill 1,000 more hunters, well, you still got the same variant. But keep killing hunters. I'm sick and tired of those stupid smoke grenades popping up on my radar. I hate that. I hate it.
That is annoying.
It's the worst.
That was frustrating. You know, I came across a lot of people with skip grenades, and I was playing with my Warlock at the time, and I was like, oh, okay, you want to do that. So I switched over to my my Sun Bracers, and just stopped that mess. Like,
just shut it down.
Just stopped it. Like, every time they were huddling by the heavy, and they was just chucking those skip grenades down the hallway. They knew where to throw them. And every time I was like, oh, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm sick of your shit. And I started just chucking I told my friend to get on their Warlock as well. And we just started chucking those solar nades. Done. They're done.
Shut it down, huh? Yeah, well, do what you got to do, man.
There's something beautifully Destiny 1 about hearing people complain about skip nades and solar nades being overpowered.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It just feels right.
Good times.
It does. But, of course, other of these emblem variants are going to drop from sources or source destinations like Nightfalls and stuff like that. So basically, we're getting variants of emblems, and they give us the Victorious Veteran example there, where you're going to be able to unlock the base emblem, and then by completing certain challenges, like they show there, killing 100 Titans or something, or 1,000 Titans, you're going to be able to unlock a special version of it. So it kind of keeps a little bit of identity there, and gives you something to shoot for while you're playing through Destiny 2. Again, another one of those kind of icings or garnish on top of a already prepared dish that's missing the prepared dish. This is like they brought you a plate of, garnish, and like, isn't it beautiful?
Just a little, like rosemary bud, just with plate.
You're kind of missing the meat there, but yeah, I guess I'll wait another month for that to pop up. But overall, I mean, like I said before, I think these are cool. I think having these kinds of specific emblems that are tied to activities like PvP or trials or even specific strikes, I think they go on in the TWAB to show like the Pyramidian emblem and the kinds of things that you can earn on that. I think that's cool. Mm-hmm. I think it's cool. It's good extra stuff for when you already have something to play for.
If you put these things into Destiny 1, I'd be like, that's cool.
Yeah,
so
I'd be on it.
I have to look at it as it's cool. The idea itself is cool. It's just the base that needs the work still. But that's coming. Please.
Please.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be neat when I actually have a reason to run Pyramidian enough times that I can, complete a global high score and earn that special emblem and earn that special aura and get those increased Vanguard token drops anytime I run that strike. Good change, but, we're still waiting for some of the big things to go in effect, which hopefully we'll be seeing the first of in the coming weeks. We've got about a month to go before the big March 27th update comes. And I'm really hoping that's going to be a big one, man.
Yeah. Let me take a quick look at the roadmap here. That's supposed to bring the Sandbox change.
Nem's acting like he doesn't have that roadmap plastered on the wall next to him.
Right.
He just looks at it
wakes
all
up and
day.
It's his it's his motivational poster in the morning. Someday this game will
look
be
at
good.
that March and May. It's like, I will have you one day. You will be mine. I'm really looking forward to towards that March update. The developers have been pretty active on Twitter lately, talking about the state of the Crucible, and they're hyping a lot of these exotics up. One of the last ones that they mentioned was the Sunshot. Some dude somebody got a triple kill based off of just the explosion of the Sunshot. Like, oh my god, I need that. That sounds so good.
Listen. I like when they tell me that they're making changes and what their goals for changes are, but I don't trust these people when they tell me that what they've made is fun and exciting anymore. All right,
Yeah.
I gotta play it.
That's why
I gotta
that's why
play
I'm
it.
scared. I want to play it. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things. It's just like you're hyping it up.
Yeah.
You're,
Yeah.
you
You
guys are
Filled me with a
making it
lot of hype
amazing.
before this game came out too.
It has to reach that level. Like, you're absolutely right. I saw that tweet. I think that was from John Wisniewski talking about a Sunshot explosive triple kill, and I was like, really? Like, at this point, rather than going, oh boy, yeah, this is gonna sound amazing, I'm like, show me. Show me.
Yeah.
Show me the Sunshot triple kill, because that sounds incredible. That sounds like you guys have buffed the kind of Firefly ability on it to a massive level. And
Yeah.
I need proof. I need to see it. I can't get super hyped about this anymore, given some of the things that have happened in the past. I want it to be like that, but show me that. Give me a PvP trailer or something like that. I'm glad to know that we're making exotics more powerful, but I'm with Mega on this one. I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there in the audience. Not yet.
Not me.
Put the controller in my hand. All right.
Not again.
To be fair, they put the controller in your hand.
There's not gonna be
while
any
ago.
triple kills happening. Well, they did put they put the controller in my hand at the reveal event, and there may have been a lot of hype going on at that reveal event, and I was pretty excited. All right, around then. But to also be fair, I assumed at that reveal event that was like my level 1. No power at all version of the game, you know? Like I
Not
was like
the whole game.
Yeah, I was like, these are the white weapons. This is the garbo of the game. If it's fun with white weapons, it's gonna be great when I get my legendaries and exotics. But then
Alas.
But then that was the end game.
yeah.
Yeah. Turns out there was no in game.
I'll let you all down. I was part of the hype machine. I'm sorry. All
How
right.
dare you? I trusted you.
I know.
It's all right. My trust in you hasn't been broken, Mega. Just in Bungie's Sandbox.
Good.
But why don't we go through some of the changes that are supposed to be coming in both update 1.1.3, which is coming out in 2 days, and then in 1.1.4, because they did revise this list. Yeah. So, for February 27th, this is the Strikes and Social update. They've got Nightfall scoring and high score tracking. That's cool. Destination emblem variants, Crucible emblem variants, Nightfall emblem variants, all that stuff we just talked about. Fireteam members on destination map. Yeah, that's something they have to put on this list here.
That was a bit of a no-brainer, but yeah, good.
What,
all right.
What does that mean? Oh, being able to see your Fireteam members on the map. That's what that means. That's go out to the, if I can trouble you to start up Destiny 2 right now, go out there, get a friend. You won't see them on the map.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? That's super weird.
It's such a little thing, but thank God they got it, in there now, I guess.
I guess it's worth celebrating because it's on the list here. It's on the list of things that are coming. But PC public text chat opt-in, I really hope they change that so it's opt-out, because if it's opt-in, most people aren't going to remember
Nobody's ever going to opt in, yeah.
Yeah. I'd prefer to opt out of that rather than not even realize it's there. Companion mod and shader interactions. I don't even know what that means.
I figured out what that means.
Okay.
Really?
Being able, I'm assuming is with the companion app, being able to interact with that stuff through like the app on the phone or.
Oh, really? Can you not do that now?
I don't think so now.
I've never tried to equip a shader from like Dim or
From
Ishtar
Dim,
Commander.
I think Dim does allow you to bring it in, but
really?
Companion, the only other thing that I can imagine companion, it's just a companion app. Mm-hmm. The actual Destiny, Bungie made one.
Just hire the guy from Dim or Ishtar Academy or Ishtar Commander. Just hire him.
Just do that.
The guys who work at Dim in particular, I don't know if it's still just one guy or if he's got a team now. They pulled off some sort of magic that allows you to pull things from your postmaster.
Oh, isn't that great?
I don't understand how that's even possible, but they did it. They did it, and it's incredible. Hire them.
The guy from Dim once made a thing that allowed you to customize changing shaders and armor and gear along to a track of music in Destiny 1. He wanted us to make a video with it so badly. We never had time to do it, but like...
Shame.
Yeah. It was amazing. He needs to just hire him. Come on, toss the dude a bone. Come on.
The dude is literal magic. He's an actual space wizard. That's what he does.
Or don't hire him, because then he becomes associated with Bungie, and then his Twitter becomes nothing but everybody hating him. So let's spare him that, I guess.
Part of the man. But finally, in this week's update, we're getting Prestige Nightfall Challenge cards version 1 with an asterisk saying that it might have some either a different delivery date or some changes in the future. And that's the challenge cards that have like the modifiers and stuff on them that you can activate, which is cool stuff. But that's what you can expect coming this week. In about a month, we're getting update 1.1.4. This, in my opinion, is the big one because just
smell that
looking like the Rock over there, Mega.
I want to smell what they're cooking. All right.
Oh yeah, like Sandbox team, please be cooking some delicious pie because the Rock loves pie.
Oh yes. I already was a fan of strudel, but that's just
before we move on. I'm checking the Destiny companion app right now.
Yeah.
And if you click on either a mod or a shader, it just tells you what it is. You can't interact with it, or you can.
Okay.
So that's what that is.
So we're not getting Monster Hunter style little companion cats that look like shaders and armor mods to follow us around. Is that what I'm hearing?
Or who cook for you?
Yeah. Can I please get that in the game? Little companion following me. That'd be great.
A little
drag following you around.
Yeah, dude.
No dregs. I want a palico. Dregs smell almost as bad as Thrall.
He wants an actual palico in there.
I want an actual muscular palico who follows me around. Only talks about making gains and flexing on things. That's all he talks about.
That is terrifying. An incredibly swole palico.
That's it. That's all I want.
You walking by, he slaps you on the ass. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Get out there and make some gains. Like, yes, sir. Absolutely.
This is why they don't listen to our opinions and ideas on the game. All right, this right here.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. But March 27th, we've got 1.1.4. This one is coming with weapon and ability sandbox changes. It's the big one. And hopefully in the coming weeks, we're going to be learning a little bit more about specifics for this sandbox change because it's great to hear about the crazy kills we're getting with Sunshot and Graviton Lance and everything behind the scenes, but I want to know numbers, man. I want to know exactly what's happening to make pulse rifles good enough that you don't need to mess with the Vigilance Wing. I want to know what's happening to make scout rifles and hand cannons feel better. What's happening to make auto rifles feel better. I want to know everything that's happening with the sandbox, how our abilities are going to be tuned. Are we going to be getting those things faster? Are we going to be getting those things more often? And man, really, hopefully, the next couple of weeks are going to get down to the specifics because I've said it before, I'll say it again. The March 27th update is going to be the make or break one, in my opinion. It all comes down to sandbox changes as the biggest driver for whether or not people come back to Destiny 2. Everything else is kind of icing on top of the cake. The cake itself is how the game plays. And we're going to be learning about that over the next month or so.
One thing to note from that is that meanwhile we are getting the weapon and ability sandbox changes on the 27th. The exotic sandbox changes are not hitting until maybe May.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's maybe. It's under that yellow asterisk. So don't expect that Sunshot to be God tier in March.
Yep, 2 months to go for that one. Or 3 months, really. But, so we're getting weapon and ability sandbox changes, not exotic stuff. Yeah. But we're getting heroic strike modifiers. Yes, that's going to be a thing next month. We're getting Iron Banner 6v6, weekly Crucible playlist with Mayhem and now Rumble. And I think that's kind of an interesting distinction there. They only refer to Iron Banner as 6v6.
Yeah.
Which means probably keeping 4v4.
Bungie, I better see play a 6v6 standalone playlist.
Look,
please.
Even if we don't get that, I actually kind of like the idea of Iron Banner being something different. So
something special.
It's the only way I can do 6v6. At least it is actually an event now and not just literally playing the exact same thing with the exact same light level
where
Like,
it feels no
yeah.
different from normal PvP.
Other than now I got a creepy dude whispering in my ear instead of Shaxx. Like,
You know you like it.
Saladin really makes me uncomfortable when he talks when I'm playing. Like, I'm actually, like, anytime he talks, I'm like, ugh. Like, I want to turn off game audio so I don't have to hear him. I do not like...
Who's your least favorite character in Overwatch?
Well, you know it's got to be Reaper, right?
That's why. He doesn't like the die. But yeah, so you do it pretty good for somebody who doesn't like it.
Well, you know, I don't like myself either.
You're the perfect Reaper main. You're just enough edge to be a Reaper main. But yes, I noticed that they only refer to Iron Banner as 6v6, so that kind of tells me we might not be getting a normalized 6v6 PvP mode, which also tells me that we might not be getting significant time to kill changes in PvP, because that's also something they have explicitly not said a word about at all. Like, ever in the history of Destiny 2. They have not mentioned time to kill or kill times in PvP at all. And that worries me.
Here's hoping it's just one of those little details that they're keeping to themselves until the actual, like, patch notes release or something.
Yeah.
I hope so, man.
Because, I mean, with adding the 6v6 on top of the crazy high time to kill that we have right now, like... It's just gonna be insane. So
it'd be a little nuts.
Yeah,
just a little nuts.
I can't imagine anything that's really gonna make me draw comparisons less favorably to D2 than giving me the exact same, like giving me an old Destiny 1 map with 6v6 and I have to play it in like the current time to kill feeling, you know? Like, I feel like just oof. Now I can do one-to-one comparisons. Imagine the YouTube video potential, though. If you got, like, an old map, and you could just actually put the gameplay side by side. Like,
put up that Rusted Lands montage where you 1v4 this group, and then D2, where it's just like, well, he's at half shield, so he's going off to heal. I guess, well, 5-minute encounter there. We'll have to see, though. But we're also getting some other Crucible changes, like the Crucible ammo and gameplay tuning. So get ready to see a lot more purple drops if you're somebody who never makes it to the power ammo on time. Going to be very interesting to see how that works. Quitter penalties finally going into effect for the competitive playlist, I do believe. I don't know if they're going to be adding one to quick play. We'll have to find out. But we're also getting the exotic repetition reduction, and this is all the stuff that's like a maybe right now. It could change. But hopefully getting down on that exotic repetition reduction, Nightfall Strike unique rewards, and companion vendor viewing. So you can view vendors on your phone app now. Yay.
The fact that Nightfall Strike unique rewards is still a maybe a month later.
That'll be sad if that
saddens me a little bit.
Yeah. Make it good. Just if you take the time, make it good. Make it something absolutely worth farming. You guys remember when Omnigul, after so long, after Grasp of Malak was confirmed to be a thing, when Omnigul was finally the Nightfall? Do you guys remember that? And everybody, for like that entire weekend, hundreds of thousands of people were just farming Omnigul over and over again for 3% drop rate?
Yeah.
It was great. It was fantastic.
Blitzed the crap out of her with like tethers and rockets before she even got to her final room and put her down in there like that. Oh, that was good stuff.
It was great.
And see, and it was not only a strike specific weapon. It was because weapons had random rolls and people wanted to grind for their perfect roll. And now if that was a thing here, it's like one and done, bam, you're done.
You know how earlier we talked about how there was an exploit and people took the path of least resistance, but it wasn't like they finished that and then they stopped playing. They wanted to get that path of least resistance, get their homework done, get the gun that they wanted, and then they wanted to use that thing to like great effect.
Yeah, because that's the formula. If your gameplay is engaging and the gameplay is rewarding, you're giving some people something to go for, they're willing to put in the time. people are more than willing, especially when it comes to the Destiny community. They're some of the most drive-focused gamers you'll find out there. They're willing to put in the time grinding Omnigul for 8 hours like, who was that, Triple Wreck, who did a stream for like 8 hours grinding Omnigul trying to get the perfect grasp? We're willing to do that sort of thing. And it's kind of the sort of chase that isn't available in Destiny 2 right now that I'd really love to see come back. Because I think I had a live stream where I just farmed Omnigul for 3 or 4 hours trying to get a decent grasp, and I didn't think anything of it. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was fun to play, and I was going for something I wanted to get my hands on.
Yeah.
More of that.
Yeah.
But instead, you could turn in some tokens and just like buy the gun that you want, or like somebody in your clan could do Omnigul, and then like you could just go talk to the Omnigul vendor, and it'll just give you the grasp of Malik, and it'll have the one roll that you can get, and you'll like it.
No other rolls, and it's a bad roll.
Yeah.
Doesn't have explosive rounds, so you throw it out anyway because only good perks are the flinchy ones.
Well, you know, they were adamant when Bungie was presenting Destiny 2 on, you know, Crucible being 4v4 only and all these other changes, but we're seeing a lot of backtracking right now, man. That at least one can only hope that they look at this fixed roles business and switch that mess up to random roles. Because I was in the camp where I was like, okay, yeah, no, fixed roles might be, you know, fun, like cool, but I mean, now, you know, in the stage of the game that we're in, like, obviously, it doesn't really work because you get it and then you never have to do that activity again, you never have to get that weapon again. And yeah, I mean, the Nightfall strikes, rewards, I'm really eager to see those, but they need to be super unique.
Definitely.
You know, they really do need to be super unique.
Yeah, I was always in the mindset that fixed roles would be good for like PvP, I guess, but it always, I don't know. I don't know what the grind factor is with fixed roles long term.
Yeah.
And I've always thought it was weird that the loot drop system has remained similar when we've changed the main reason to get duplicates of guns.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a 10,000th better devil, for the love of, I want once I get
there's nothing special about it.
I want nothing to drop for me in D2 anymore, because every new item that drops is just another thing I have to fucking delete, and it just drives me crazy. I'm so bored of deleting stuff.
Like I think one of the big issues with like the whole random rolls thing was the fact that luck in the chamber was a thing, and they kept that in there for the longest time, because ultimately when you're relying on an RNG system for you to get lucky, the luck in the chamber, that automatically just going to put the balance of, you know, the luck to you, because you can be going up against somebody that has a higher skill gap than you in the Crucible, but because you have that one lucky bullet, you have a higher chance of winning. If they were to change, if they were to bring random rolls back but keep out, you know, like luck in the chamber and like stuff like final round and whatnot, I think that would be fine. It's not like they have not done that in the past. When we're looking at the Fellwinter's Lie, they got rid of shot package and then they replaced it with some other mediocre perk.
Here's where I'm at. As somebody who loved when luck in the chamber procced, every time procced, it was fun, and I kind of don't even want it to go away, because even if I had luck in the chamber, if you put me with a palindrome with luck in the chamber against like Triple Wreck with a white hand cannon, he was still gonna mop the fucking floor with me. Like, I know it's bad for balance, and I agree on all those terms, but I also, when I look at Destiny 2, one of the biggest things that's missing is like the massive fun factor, you know?
Yeah.
And luck in the chamber proccing was really fun when it happened. So I
feel like with perks like luck in the chamber, where it's automatically going to turn or give you a bonus of damage in a space where getting that is completely lucky, you would have to sacrifice an exotic for it, and therefore use Hawkmoon, which is one of the weapons that will give you that bonus.
I'm fine with it there. I could live with that if it was only on an exotic, but I do think it was the type of fun perk that made it like its brokenness was outweighed by its funness for me.
Yeah.
So I was never hugely against it, because pulling out the that beast hand cannon from Iron Banner Year 3 that could 2-tap with Luck in the Chamber, pulling out the one that I had.
Oh, the high impact one.
Yeah. And then
Finala? No,
it wasn't Finale. Oh God, what was it called? It was like one of my favorite guns. I can't remember its name right now. It's upsetting. But all I know is I had the version. I got it to drop the very first Iron Banner, because you didn't get that as something you could buy until the very last Iron Banner, or it was like one of the Lingering Song. There it is.
Lingering Song. It
was like the last one to come up in the like rotation of buying guns, but I got it to drop from a package like the very first week, and I got it to drop with Luck in the Chamber, and I could lower the magazine to only 4 shots.
The 4-shot cheese.
Which just meant like every time I pulled it out, it was like almost guaranteed I was going to 2-tap somebody if I hit them. And it was so stupid, but it was so much fun to use. The first time I went flawless was with that, because it was just like me and Fallout, and he would damage them, and I would just clean them up from the back with that massive damage. Like
that's the fun, man.
Yeah.
Or like when Hawk Moon had that chance of getting both of the lucky bullets in the one and just one tap somebody.
Not both, all three. It was all three lucky shots.
Like that has an exotic feel. Like that belongs there, because that you're sacrificing an exotic slot for that. Like you're taking away your ability to put on an icebreaker or a Gallarhorn, where I remember like come on.
We've talked about this. They spent so much time, especially after the Crucible in Destiny Year 1, after the House of Wolves meta. They spent so much time wanting to rebalance, and I think some of the Bungie reps, even during interviews, said they didn't want exotics after that point to specifically be better than legendaries, because they, for whatever reason, and I always disagreed with that. I felt exotics should be these crazy powerful, super fun things that are balanced not by you changing the way entire weapon classes work. You didn't need to nerf all of hand cannons to balance the last word and Hawkmoon. You want to know what the balance to having something like Mida Multitool was? Not being able to equip Icebreaker. Not being able to equip Hawkmoon. Not being able to equip Thorn. That was the balance for exotics back in those days. I was just playing with Hawkmoon a little bit earlier today back in D1, and I absolutely agree with you, Mega. I love landing that little lucky shot, seeing the flames go off of Hawkmoon, and just being like, got you with it.
When you hit it, ooh.
And it feels so good. It's such a fun weapon, and that's something that's missing. Like, when was the last time you whipped out the Sturm and were like, yeah, this is an exotic I can really grip.
My Drang is reloaded right now, dude. It's so reloaded.
You feel it, just the drawn is just reloaded. I can swap.
My Drang is overflowing.
There's not a lot of exotics. I will say, Legend of Acreus is something that feels like that, where it just feels like this stupidly powerful thing that you use. But in order to use it, you can't use your Mida. You can't use another one of the good exotics in the game, and that's something I want to see more of, especially when this exotic pass goes into effect. I think that's scheduled for May or something like that. It feels so good, and I would definitely take Luck in the Chamber back if it came on an exotic. If we got like Hawkmoon back.
Yeah, if we got like Hawkmoon back, then I can agree with that, because again, you're sacrificing your ability to use the freaking nut cannon. You know,
nut. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm hoping that things will feel good towards May, if it
absolutely
comes by May.
It's great, man. Great memories there.
Yeah.
But all right, what do you say we move on to some questions from the chat?
Super down for that.
Yeah, so chat, if you guys are here live, feel free to ask us some questions, and we will see if we can get to quite a few of them. Yo, Rebel, the one-shot Hawkmoon thing, where you got all 3 of those lucky shots to proc. It was like 1 in 100,000 shots. I had it happen to me. I remember it twice. A total of twice during Year 1 Destiny, and it was great. It was just watching a full health Guardian go ploop, dead.
As somebody who didn't get Hawkmoon until it came to Xbox, yeah, totally, same. I got to experience that, absolutely.
At least you got the ridiculous final round or luck in the chamber sniper cheese.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
you came to the game in Taken King, right?
I came I came during House of Wolves, a little like
Okay, so you got to
2
experience
months
that.
before Taken King, I think, is when I showed up.
You got to experience the horror of starting off a Trials map and then just listening off into the distance, a bunch of snipers firing off to get their final round cheese. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I remember going early on in the days where Hogman was really, really strong, and just popping my weapons of light in the Crucible and just being an absolute like scumbag about it. It was pretty fun.
Dude, I still remember back in the day. This is way early in Destiny's lifespan. They quietly changed this. I don't even think it was in the patch notes when they did their December update. Back when Icebreaker, you could utilize that with Sunsinger when you popped what was Sunsinger's
Radiance?
super called? When you popped Radiance, it increased solar damage and caused solar damage to burn targets.
I remember that.
If you had a solar weapon and you popped Radiance, all of your solar damage would cause a burn on target. So you could actually one-shot people with Icebreaker by just pop and then watching them burn off to death. I thought that was like a brilliant aspect of Sunsinger, and I was super mad when they just quietly got rid of it in December. Mad about it.
Still mad about it.
Still mad at it. 3-4 years later, still mad about it.
Alpha in chat has a really fun question. What Destiny 1 strike would you bring back and why?
Oh man,
Tanix.
I will. Okay,
Tanix,
Mega
the homie.
Tanix. White
The homie?
Tanix
White.
purely for when they bring back my strike specific loot and I can get my Cloak of Tanix back and I can be fly as hell. All right.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything
I can give
other
you
than
that
that. And Tanix is legitimately, I have Stockholm syndrome. It's my favorite strike because of the fact that I grinded it for so many hundreds of hours to get the Cloak of Tanix. I feel like so it's just nostalgic to me.
For me, Sunless Cell.
Yeah, man. Sunless Cell's freaking cool. What a great boss design.
So good.
Cinematic,
good.
you drop into the arena, it's completely dark.
Whatever.
And
You
then,
mean Bungie being too lazy to design graphics or art, so they're just making an all black room, bro? What's that about? Fucking come on, Bungie! I see through what you're doing.
I mean, come on, Alakul was cool. So cool. So cool they brought him back as a patrol event boss.
Yeah. No, dude, running that strike, like I managed to do it just once. I landed in it on my own, but going into the strike by yourself, taking off the HUD and take off the music, and
Oh,
it is
man.
such a fantastic thing to like experience in Destiny 1, especially
Great
the
overall
Cool
strike.
boss. Like, you don't know where you got, literally, if you have a good pair of headphones, you literally just
hear
gotta
him.
rely where he's
Yeah.
gonna come out from. It was so cool.
That was a great atmospheric boss fight when you get down there and it gets all quiet and then you just hear Eris, Alakul is hunting you. Boom, boom, boom. That's cool. And plus, of course, when you've got your solar void damage weeks, you just go in there with a sword and have a sword fight with the man.
I love the sword quest where you have to do that. We have to defeat the wardens
Yeah.
right before killing him, and like
And then go take
you
him
get
down.
you do it matchmaking, and you have to like message the guy, and you're like, "Yo, what are you going for?" And he's like, "I'm going for soul." I'm like, "Shit, I'm not, but let's do this." Like,
I did that quest with Holtzman, with Patrick, and it was so cool because like, you're like, all right, which one do you need? Okay, we need to coordinate
Yeah, dude.
this one. Make sure we get this one and then this one. And that was such a cool quest. That was a great quest.
Yes.
A lot of fun.
I think the both of that and the Shield Bros are both probably two of my favorite strikes.
Yeah.
Both of those they came with Taken King. Like,
Great
those
one.
I love the Shield Bros. Just the dynamic of the two bosses. I just like that they both have their own vibe. And immediately the first time we played it, and the one tried to slam us, we're like, it's John Cena, and then there's Blastoise.
Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da.
it's like that's all it is the whole time. There'll always be
I
John Cena and
hated
Mega
that.
Blastoise.
I hated that Nightfall when it was solar burn.
that
Oh my
was the
god, that is
worst.
such a rough.
That is
that's
a
rough.
fucking wretched Nightfall, but it's still so much fun. That's one of my favorite strikes for burns too, because you get like whatever burn it is, you get a sniper of that type, and when you're fighting the tank and like the beginning of it, and you can just melt each of its wheels with just like a
yeah.
sniper shot. It's just like you're done.
Dude, going into that strike with Arcburn and Specialist, if you bring in a Titan with weapons of light, when the first boss comes out, you just pop a bubble like in that general vicinity.
Yep.
And you go ham with it with the fourth horseman. You will literally kill that. You will kill him. Before he even gets to do anything. I did that once and it broke the strike for like 10 minutes. Nothing happened after that.
Sequence breaking, man. Oh man, there's so many good strikes back in Destiny 1, and yeah, those are all great choices. That Alakul, Tanix, two of my faves, man, two of my faves. I'd probably say something like Nexus, because that was my favorite strike back in D1. But then I miss out on the wonderful, wonderful Sepix Prime music.
That's
a lot of good strikes there, man.
Is next level.
It's good.
We got the
Blasteroid.
I just wanted to add. I left off one of the strikes. When did we get the giant shank one? The freaking
Hank the Shank. That was
Taken King as well.
That was Taken King. The Fallen Saber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say all three of the strikes then were like top tier for me. That came out with Taken King.
Yeah.
Because I loved that thing with the arc part where you have to move the ball through, and I just love that. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, that was a fun strike.
A good strike. Those are good strikes. That was my jam. Was Destiny 1 strikes. That's all I did.
They were good. Great way to spend your time.
Blasteroid in chat says or asks, do you think Bungie will make snipers and shotguns energy weapons in a future update?
I wish.
I don't think so.
I don't think
they will either.
I don't think that would take a massive like retuning, and
if they made those energy weapons, they'd have to be like the only energy weapons. Like, why would I ever use an energy hand cannon when I could use an energy shotgun? Like, why would that even be a thing?
Yeah.
Sadly, tragically.
Yeah, it would take way too massive of a weapon overhaul. I saw some people saying, well, they could just add a fourth weapon class. I don't think they would do that. They would have to change the way certain energy primaries work. Like, why would you ever pick like a energy hand cannon over something like a sniper rifle or a fusion or a shotgun? I mean, I kind of wish they would. I'd love to be able to go back to having my, hand cannon, sniper rifle, rocket launcher combination or something like that back in the game. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems like the kind of thing we wouldn't see until like the expansion later this year.
Mm-hmm.
Either an expansion or honestly them reverting that back in the next iteration of whatever Destiny's going to go for.
Yeah, I think that's
D3,
that's either
it's just way too big of a change.
Mm-hmm. It's either Taken King style expansion or it's a new game. It's not something quick, tragically, because I think most of us would rather have not necessarily the old system, but a different system at least than what we have right now. I don't want to be the guy who's just like, just change it back. It was perfect, but it's like it was better. So
it was a lot more fun for sure.
Yeah,
wasn't broken.
I miss running around with my fusion rifles and just vooping people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know? And I think like towards the end, like the special ammo economy, in retrospect, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it popped up. It was every minute and a half. Or every minute that the special ammo popped in.
Might have been every minute, somewhere around there.
It was something like that, and like that's not a bad interval in in between your next life or whenever you die. I think that was really great, and I don't know. I miss it.
I always argued that the special ammo economy and the kind of damage that specials were putting out wasn't really necessarily the biggest problem in D2. Yeah. I thought that it was more so the balance of constantly weakening primary damage throughout, really starting at the start of the Taken King and then just rolling all the way till Destiny ended. It was more of a problem that primaries couldn't compete with secondaries, and I don't think that the solution to that was nerf or completely take away secondaries. It was just make primaries a bit stronger.
Yeah.
Rip.
I miss the old system the most in PvE more than anything. Like, not even just PvP. I just miss, like, having a sniper rifle that is useful and a rocket. Like, I'm surrounded by guys, blow them up. Quick escape, easy. Sniper rifle, let's burn this boss from the back of the room. Yeah, this is a good time. Like,
New Guardians will never know the wonder of the old Fatebringer Black Hammer Yallarhorn combination.
Oh man.
The absolute pinnacle of PvE loadouts in Destiny.
Yeah, dude.
Makes me sad. Devastate's got a pretty good one. Do you guys think that primary play will feel super bland if movement and power abundance is increased? I feel like they need to increase time to kill. You feel like they need to increase time to kill or decrease time to kill, Devastate?
He means he wants us to increase damage.
I really hope you mean decrease time to kill.
Speaking of Devastate, he sent me this this clip last night for people in chat if you guys want to check that out. That's the kind of stuff that I miss from.
Oh, is it the last word clip?
It's the golden gun clip.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's the golden. He ends it with the last word, but that was I miss doing stuff like that.
I saw the retweet on that, and then got in and was like, my boy, that's what PvP used to look like in Destiny. It was so much crazier, so much better, so much faster. And yeah, I would agree, Devastate. Like we said earlier in the stream, the Gotta Go Fast update is coming. That's next month. And if they're going to be increasing movement speed, and we're going to be getting some kind of 6v6 PvP mode, they have to decrease time to kill.
You can't make me faster and make it even easier for me to get away from people that are killing me. Like, are you kidding me? No one's going to ever die.
Too easy. It's already too easy to disengage and just get the heck on out of dodge the moment you feel like you're at a disadvantage in a gunfight. There has to be a decrease in time to kill. It's way too high right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
There it is.
What else we got here in chat?
Mumpster. That's a great name. Mumpster Truck. Great. With the March 27th update approaching, do you think strike-specific loot should be exotic, legendary, or a mix of both? Porque no los dos.
I was about to say the same thing. Both.
Both. Give me both. I want all of it. All of
solid Spanish there, by the way, too. Yo.
Thank you, sir. I had to practice just for this moment. Cold Runner.
I would love to see like exotic loot from Strike as well. And like, I can't wait to see what they're gonna put for Savathun's song. I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that.
Whatever it is, it's probably gonna smell really, really
delicious.
Bad.
Yeah. If they make exotic stuff, I just hope that it's like linked to some sort of quest based around the strike. That's all I really.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I want more of those things, like how we were talking about Alakul's sword strike. I want things like that, things that I get from the strike based around little missions added to the strike, stuff like that.
Oh man, you get, there's a small chance that you get, like, I don't know, a hive soul drop at the end of that, and it starts off an exotic quest line.
Don't tease me.
That'd be great.
Don't tease me by getting me excited about things in Destiny like that again. All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the anti-excitement show. We're trying to keep it grounded here. Keep it grounded. What do you say we take one more question before we get on out of here?
I like the sound of that very much.
Right on.
All right.
Let's get one more in here.
Somebody hit me with the hottest question of 2018. All right? I need it.
Hungo, stop it. Stop it. You stop it. And by the way, Wretched Eye is way worse than Abomination Heist. Yeah. Wretched Eye is the worst strike in Destiny history.
Boom. You laid it down.
Right, it's right next to Exodus Crash. It's right next to it. Two worst strikes.
I was gonna say at least don't disrespect anything by putting it on the level of Exodus Crash.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Exodus Crash is the only thing I've ever had that I quit out of it every single time I load in immediately in Destiny. Like, I'm just like, nope, not gonna happen ever in a million years.
Yeah, man, you don't like waiting 30 seconds for a boss to come back on a timed Nightfall, and you can't do anything to make it go faster.
God, I don't know who. I want to have words with whoever designed that boss and just sit
not
him
a great
down.
Idea.
Sit him down, get him a cup of coffee, just look into his eyes and be like,
I don't want him to have good things like coffee.
Why?
You don't deserve that coffee.
Who hurt you?
Wretched Eye, apparently.
Yeah.
I gotta make something worse than Wretched Eye. I see a really good one from Attack Eyebrows that we could probably end on.
All right.
Yeah.
How would you feel about a point system on weapons where the power of the weapon was based on its place on the point grid? Maybe make the point cap for equipped weapons 10, and you could have any combination of weapons equipped that as long as they don't exceed 10 points. So this is kind of like a pick 10 system from Call of Duty.
The Black Ops, yeah.
I'm not a fucking mathematician. That's just well, I did major in math at one point, but that's besides the point. I don't know.
One point.
My answer to that question is I wouldn't like it personally. I don't think it's a bad idea. It's just not I wouldn't like it.
It would be a weird fit considering how many things we have to equip.
Who gets
on our character.
Who ranks those power? Who on the Bungie team is deciding what is more powerful, and how can I trust them not to accidentally put something in there as a 1 that's actually like a 7? We find out later.
0.04.
Yeah, and then they take like they put it as a 1, then Cammy Cakes realizes it's an 8 if you use it this way, and then it's fucking like all that until 3 months later when they do a meta patch or something. I don't know. Oof.
I'll tell you something that I would love to see in terms of power of playing with the power fantasy, and it would be a playlist of you being able to equip any and every that you have.
Holy schmoly.
Like that would be like a true definition of mayhem.
Here's the thing that I've always liked that idea, but I just don't know if they can implement it because like you physically can't you can't equip those things. Like it's like based in the core of the game, like you can't have 2 exotics on. So how do they make it so I can put multiple exotics on? Or they tied is that like a change they have to do at the base level where now you can equip everything? You just can't load into like any playlist when you have stuff on, or what? Like
because they would have to prompt you to like change it when you're loading into this playlist and then change away from it when you're loading or when you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
That'd be really weird.
I'm sure I don't think it will happen. I guess.
I'm assuming it's just like it's obviously a coding thing because you can, like, I don't know if it means anything, but you can preview exotics when you're wearing other exotics.
With exotics, you can.
So like that is based already in there. So it's like I'm sure it's just a matter of.
I'm sure it's just something in the code that's like if it does a check. Is there an exotic in any of these slots? Then no, you can't put one here. But knowing how Destiny's code is built, changing that one thing will break the entire game. So
it's done.
Yeah, that thing is integral to the frame rate of the game, and now it will run at 1 frame per second. Like,
you guys remember it back in old school in Destiny 1 and how like in Arrested Lands you see like a hive ship come in, or in Thieves Den you have that catch that comes in mid-match and just distorts the fuck out of your vision. I would love to see a game mode that involves bringing like one of those ships coming in and then dropping in like a major that drops like like one of their weapons or like a relic or something, or like a scorch cannon for example.
Oh yeah, a scorch cannon would be great.
Yeah,
or like a sword of Crota.
Sword of Crota. Yeah, can you imagine them implementing like some kind of thing like that? Like that would be so cool. Like that would be amazing. It would be super fun to do. Like I want to see something like that in the game.
Like a cool map hazard or something like that. So that the trials people won't get too triggered about that. Put it in Combined Arms. Just have it be in the Combined Arms game. That'd be super cool. King of the Hill with like a Sword of Crota or like the Scorch Cannon where you can escort your team to grab it, and then boom, now you've got this big massive one-shot cannon.
Imagine running around in like a multiplayer map with the Aegis from the Vault of Glass, being able to just like bubble your teammates whenever somebody gets like a rocket launcher.
It's giving me pure Halo vibes right now, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm feeling like I'm playing Halo 2, and I'm jumping to get the sword that's down low on lockdown right now, or lockout. Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, freaking Aegis Shield. You can just zip around the map with it and build up a super. Yeah. Why in the world haven't they done that? That would be a great game mode. I'd be all over that.
That's why.
Oh.
I'm so mean to Bungie tonight. I'm sorry. I like Destiny.
Mega misses a podcast, and he just comes back reloaded and ready to fire.
Mega mad witch up in here. Absolute mad lad.
Don't worry, everybody. If you're listening at home and you're mad at me, I'm going to have a baby probably by this time next week, and who knows if I'll be on the podcast for a minute after that. So you'll get a little break of me being a savage.
The podcast is actually going to be his baby just being savage.
Yeah.
To Bungie's. Her first words are going to be, man, Bungie sucks.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's all they are.
Oh boy.
Is that a
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's a good enough stopping point.
Podcast. Yeah.
That's enough for that. That's enough salt to sustain me for this next week. Thank you, Mega. I was getting a little bit low on the iodine levels. I needed my salt. Thank you. Got you, fam. Thank you all so much for watching or listening to episode 154 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Again, this week we've got update 1.1.3 going into effect, so get out there, run a Nightfall, or maybe don't. I'll be here if you do. Just tell me how it was. We'll see. But before we get out of here, we're going to let you guys know where you can find us across the internet and what we've got coming up. The big Dark Lord of Salt for tonight, for once not me, Mr. Mega Madwitch. Who are you? Where are you at? What you got coming up this week,
I am
man?
Mega. You can find me at twitch.tv/megamagwitch, where maybe I'll play Destiny 2 once this week to grind faction tokens now that I know that there's a cheese for it. That's it. And then on Twitter, just look for Mega Magwitch. You'll find there's not any other ones out there. I think we're safe if you find me. Nem, how about you, Nem? Where can they find you, Nem?
Honestly, here on Sundays, that's been the most that I'm on Twitch lately. I'm in the streaming funk, so here Sundays with the rest of these beautiful people, you can find me, or in the links that our OP mod Hungo has posted in chat if you're in the live stream.
It's pretty big. And of course, I am the Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at the Black Link. This week, gonna be streaming a little bit more Destiny 1. I think I might do a retro live stream on Thursday. Might get some raids and stuff in, and you'll be able to find me over on Twitch and all the places, and of course on the Planet Destiny YouTube channel for all the big news videos. I'm sure we're gonna be making some Nightfall guides and whatnot for the new system coming out, so make sure you're staying tuned there. But all right, before we get on out of here, if you guys are here live, find somebody for us to raid. Get some good stuff there. But that is going to be it for episode 154 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We'll catch you all next week.